Story tonight at 6. The Macon-Bibb County Industrial Authority is demanding nearly $2 million from 3 companies the authority hired a few years ago. It claims the companies didn't complete or even do the work they were paid in full to do. 41 NBC's Ed Ruiz joins us with more on what happened to all that taxpayer money.
Local attorney Lester Miller filed an open records request for these documents he shared with us. A couple of the companies mentioned here have some ties to former Industrial Authority Chairman Clifford Whitby, who was indicted last year on federal fraud charges.
There was just more to the story.
After the Macon-Bibb County Industrial Authority had an audit completed for 2017, something wasn't sitting right with local attorney Lester Miller.
I took it upon myself to file an open records request, requesting certain documentation, particularly around the millions of dollars that we had spent on some projects. And once I got that information in, I was just shocked.
That shocking information shows 160 pages of letters and invoices from the Industrial Authority going back to February of 2015. In the letters, the authority demands about $1.9 million from Armstead Management, New Age Concepts and Consulting, and WM Construction.
So we pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to remove buildings that never even existed, according to the report. And there was some roofing work that were done on buildings that didn't exist, and there were some materials that were hauled off of properties that the county does not even own.
I reached out to those companies but didn't get a response. So I went to the addresses provided on those letters, but they led me to a couple of homes in Macon.
Several of the businesses that were approved for this situation, they were recommended and allegedly vetted out by the county government, particularly the small business portion of that.
In 2017, auditors for the Industrial Authority found out that an officer of New Age Concepts and Consulting was former Chairman Clifford Whitby's daughter, and his brother-in-law was an officer of Armstead. In August of 2017, Whitby was indicted on fraud charges for bribing former Bibb County School Superintendent Romaine Dallemond.
What started out as just one person in Romaine Dallemond has turned into a bunch of layers of onions that's been peeled back. I think this new information that's been brought out today is another one of those layers that you're going to see.
Miller says he wouldn't be surprised if more information unfolded.
So I certainly don't think we've heard the last of it. Not sure how far they may take it. It's not my job to do that. I just wanted to bring the information out because I think the people have the right to know, and I think taxpayers need to be made whole.
Those 3 companies had 10 days to give a response to the Industrial Authority, and today is that deadline. I reached out to former Chairman Clifford Whitby. He answered, then hung up. I also reached out to the Industrial Authority. They didn't want to go on camera, but did share a statement with us. Michael?
Well, this is the statement that the Industrial Authority sent us, and they are still awaiting a response from the 3 contractors. Chairman Robert Fountain says, quote, "This has been an ongoing process since the departure of the former chairman, and we will continue to thoroughly evaluate information and evidence as it becomes available. All the while, we will continue to carry out the mission of this authority to grow the tax base and facilitate quality job growth in Macon-Bibb County."